This meeting is called to order in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. Notice of this meeting was provided to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and the Highland Park Planet on January 8, 2025, and was posted on Borough Hall website at www.hbborough.com and on the bulletin board of Borough Hall, 221 South Fifth Avenue in Highland Park, New Jersey, and has remained continuously posted as required by law. Fire exits are to my right and left of council chambers. Chief, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Foster.
Here.
Councilmember George.
Here.
Councilmember Hale. Councilmember Hirsch.
Here.
Council President Kim Chohan.
Here.
Councilmember Pistonik.
Here.
Councilmember Vargas.
Here.
Borough Attorney Shaw.
Here.
Borough Administrator Holder.
Here.
Approval of minutes. May I have a motion to approve minutes from December 3rd, 2024 work session meeting and on December 10th, 2024 regular session meeting as distributed?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember George.
Yes.
Councilmember Hirsch.
Yes.
Council President Kim Chohan.
Here. Yes, sorry.
Councilmember Pistonik.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Council report, and I'm going to start off with Councilmember George.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a very brief report for everyone tonight. I'm Phil George, and I'm liaison to the Public Safety Committee and to the library. First, I'd like to thank Ashton Burrell and Zone 6 for the Dr. Martin Luther King program, as well as our council people that helped to coordinate it. They honored the real importance to America of leadership, example, temperance in its place, and activism in its place on Dr. Martin Luther King's Memorial Day. The police department is sponsoring the Pet Products Donation Program again in conjunction with the Edison Animal Shelter to help provide care for cats and dogs in the care of the shelter. Donations of animal-friendly products can be dropped off at the police department lobby. The list of most needed products and foods are on the Highland Park Police Department Facebook page. I'd like to thank Lieutenant Soden and Chief Shami, who did such a great job with the recruiting, signage, and advertising to be put out on the internet and our websites and different social media for the Highland Park Volunteer Fire Department membership drive. Members are needed, and the number to call is 732-572-4323. Look for the ad on the borough's website, the police and fire department websites, and maybe online is a way to reach a new cadre of firefighters for more pressing needs. The library has been functioning at full capacity as it settles into the new facility. The community and media room is nearly complete, and just from the renovations and improvements, the media room seems larger, roomier, and with more facilities for events, displays, and exhibits. At the board meeting last night, we discussed the increase in services, patronage, online users, and a successful fund drive for library services. Finally, for SWAC, there's a meeting this coming Monday, January 27th, virtually, and the 2025 meetings will be the same for this year, the fourth Monday of each month, except May, which is Memorial Day, and they are still currently by Zoom. We invite everybody to attend. The conversations there are interesting and relate to one of our more important focuses, which is on safe cycling and walking in town and safe routes to school. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Bill, can you please report your Councilmember Taylor's comments? Councilmember Hirsch.
All right. Keeping us on our toes, Dave. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Matthew Hirsch. I chair the Public Works and Public Facilities Committee. I also wanted to echo Councilman George, and I'm sure several others, our gratitude for the Zone 16 Center's coordination of the of the Dr. Martin Luther King celebration yesterday at the high school. Brought my 9-year-old. It was a lot of fun, and you know, with everything going on yesterday, it was a great opportunity to be together with community and just really keep it to paraphrase Reverend Dr. King, to keep our eye on the prize and really know what things look like. We have to be present. We have to be in the moment, but we also have to remember our principles and move with them deliberately. Including while we navigate various external forces. So much appreciated for that. And Mayor, thank you for your wonderful remarks yesterday too. Just a few things on first reading tonight. We have item 11B, which came out of the Public Works and Public Utilities Committee. This is ordinance number 25-2100. This updates Article 1 of the Borough Code to create guidance on sump pump drainage and to explicitly prohibit sump pump drainage directly into a right-of-way, street, or sidewalk, or I should say clarify. This ordinance came up through our Environmental Commission, was vetted by our Public Works and Public Utilities Committee, which is composed of myself, Councilman George, and Councilman Hale, and discussed here in work session on December 3rd. And now, finally, it's here for first reading, and I encourage my colleagues to vote in favor of this. Resolution 12521, I just had a comment on this in support of, this is in support of our affordable housing calculations for round 4 under the Mount Laurel doctrine. This is for round 4 is the state's guidelines for affordable housing requirements that affect every municipality in New Jersey. And this is for the period of 2025 to 2035. Our prospective need is 45 and our present need is 209. So what does that mean? Our prospective need is 45. That means 45 affordable homes over the course of the 10-year period through 2020 through 2035, which is modest and doable. 209 is our current need, is our present need. And what that means is that these are low and moderate, deed restricted households currently considered substandard or overcrowded and in need of rehabilitation assistance. This is present need under the Mount Laurel doctrine in the state's Fair Housing Act. So I really look forward, I'm glad we're accepting these numbers, and I look forward to working together to map out our plan for the next 10 years. Snow. It snowed, you might have noticed. In the Borough of Highland Park, the Department of Public Works currently provides snow and ice removal for over 31 miles of roadways. I just want to preface with that. Several municipal parking lots, public sidewalks, and borough-owned facilities. On Sunday night, I was really pleased to, I think we all saw our crews out salting, pre-treating roadways, clearing roadways once there was accumulation, as well as removing snow from our borough assets like Main Street, Highland Park, the walkway that goes up from the Albany Street Bridge into Highland Park. And that is an arrangement that we have that's not borough property, as well as our park. So like the Belknap Tot Lot, which is new to the inventory. And it was really great to see our crews out being responsive to making sure that our recreational spaces were clear for when the kids want to be outside in the snow. So thank you to DPW crews for being out there. I do want to say that plummeting temperatures place more urgency on snow removal as we were up against the clock before our roadways were sheets of ice. So since then, we did have some sun, and obviously the rubber on the road helps things continue to melt. So as things are in daylight and melting, crews also take the opportunity to get out there with a plow and clear any remaining snow and do salting. Dennis, thank you very much. I see you on Public Works too. It is ongoing, but I think by and large, you're going to see blacktop on most or all of the borough's roadways. And we will continue to sand and spot clear as necessary. If you have a sidewalk, you are responsible for making sure it's free of ice and snow, and you could be held accountable if a sidewalk remains obstructed. This is why we have an ordinance. Please contact the clerk's office if you need assistance. Your concern will be routed to our code enforcement officer for complaint follow-up and enforcement. And our sidewalk ordinances are there for a reason, to make sure that our walkways are clear. Please be mindful of sidewalk clearance. If you have a neighbor in need, go that extra mile. In Highland Park, fortunately, a lot of the houses are close to each other, so it's not a whole lot of extra effort, but we all need help sometimes. And the borough also has a volunteer list of snow shovelers who will be available. Some for a fee, some for volunteer. But But it does take a village. We're here to help, but you also have to make sure that your sidewalks are clear, because if you want to live up to that ideal of a walkable community, these are the types of things we have to do. Because of the cold weather, we continue to address water main breaks as they occur. Please note that there continue to be several small water main breaks that are treated, that are repaired as they come up. And some do cause interruptions in service, or in the worst case scenario, boil water advisories. We do have a few of those that are very isolated and located, so they're not town-wide. I just want to point out two that arose today. On South First Avenue, there was a 3-hour water shutdown that was required to cut a section of pipe on South First Avenue. And this interrupted service from Park Place to Raritan Avenue. If you did get an interruption of service, you received a notification on your doorway, as well as a flyer. You received a door tag, and that interruption affected only 7 residences. So if you did not receive a notification, you did not have to boil the water. On Park Place, right near South First, a second boil water advisory was in place. That has residents under a 48-hour boil water advisory that started at 11 o'clock today. Water is on now, but is not expected to be shut off again in regard to the First Avenue shut off and repairs. If you were an affected Park Place resident, you also received a door hanger and a visit from Middlesex Water. If you did not, then you are free and clear. Trash pickup schedule, because of the holiday this week. Just be mindful that tomorrow, Wednesday, January 22nd, there will be garbage collection in the business district, North Side, and Triangle. On Thursday, as usual, January 23rd, South Side recycling collection. And on Friday, as usual, January 24th, business district and South Side garbage collection. Sustainable Highland Park maintains and monitors and advances Highland Park's Borough's Sustainable Jersey certification as the borough's designated green team. And we are meeting tomorrow on Zoom at 7 p.m. If you would like to join us, if you want to get involved in some of our efforts, Adopt a Drain, community garbage cleanups, other environmental educational activities, and also be involved in the important work of maintaining and growing the borough's Sustainable Jersey certification, which provides us with points and grants and other innovative opportunities to make our community even more green. So we are meeting tomorrow on Zoom at 7 p.m. Excuse me. I attended Governor Murphy's State of the State address last week, and the mayor was in attendance. And I was particularly encouraged by his invitation to the legislature to pass bills, including the allowance of the addition of small homes akin to in-law suites or single and 2-family lots. That's accessory dwelling units. Accessory dwelling units. We talked about our fair housing plan here. Accessory dwelling units are otherwise known as granny flats. They're detached residences that are small, usually located on a single-family property. So imagine if you had a single-family residence with a shed. That shed in the back could be transformed into an ADU if the law allows for it. This is a really important type of housing that can allow for family housing. It can also be deed restricted if it's run by an agency that maintains and operates housing. So that was really encouraging to hear, because it's that type of zoning innovations that are really going to help towns integrate their affordable housing plans seamlessly into existing neighborhoods. I also wanted to commend the governor's desire to address parking minimums and as well as convert single family into 2-family properties. We have these all over town. Highland Park is over 60% rental. I live in a single family residence, but I live directly across the street from 5 single family detached 2-family homes, as well as garden apartments. What I live across the street from, what I look out my window every day, would not be allowed under the existing zoning. They would have to get variances. So in order for us to really achieve, housing diversity and keep up the type of diversity that we do have in town, that promotes affordability, these are the types of innovations that we need to look out for. So I was really encouraged to hear that. And then just one last point, the Highland Park Educational Foundation, which is a local nonprofit that supports our public schools and issues grants based on teacher-led programs and innovations, is having a fundraiser on January 25th, this Saturday. Go to hpefnj.org for more information. That's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Hale.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My name is Matt Hale, and I chair the Economic Development Committee. So we spent a lot of time in economic development talking about the redevelopment of Tract A and Tract C and other places, and the creation of a pedestrian plaza on South Third. And those are the focus of economic development. Those are really sort of what we spend most of our time on. But I do want to point out that in 2025 we have a number of different specific economic development tools and programs that that are going to be available specifically to the businesses of Highland Park. The goal of this is, of course, to help Highland Park businesses stay profitable, become more profitable, bring more people in. And so I just wanted to sort of mention those. If you are a Highland Park business owner, if you know someone who's a Highland Park business owner, these are all things that are going to be available and are going to be really good tools coming up. They stem out of our grant from the Neighborhood Participation Program, but they'll be applicable to the entire borough at Shortest Dead. The first one is something called Beyond Maine, which is a local online marketplace. It is a way of helping small business, particularly sort of sole proprietor businesses, expand their online presence. It's creating sort of a digital mall for Highland Park. And so if you are a business that has a web presence that is something less than you desire, if this is a good opportunity to sort of help aggregate numbers of people through a particular site. It's called Beyond Maine, and it's beyondmaine.com. So those are, we're working with the team right now, is rolling that out. So if you're a business owner and you are interested in that, it is beyondmaine.com, all one word, no caps. A second tool that we've are able to bring to businesses that we're just sort of getting started with is a platform called Placer AI, or Placer.ai. And this is really about customer databases and ways of tracking where your customers come from. So it uses anonymized cell phone data, and it tracks folks in a panel study kind of way that brings a sense of where your customers are coming from, when they're coming, and where they're going afterwards. It also has the capacity to sort of identify some broad stroke demographics of the type of folks that are coming into your businesses as a way of maybe targeting particular marketing and particular marketing ideas. Again, you can take a quick look at that at www.placer.ai. But it's a really innovative and interesting platform that will be able to help individual businesses sort of identify and ideally grow their markets. And then lastly, the State Economic Development Authority and the Middlesex County Development Authority really have an enormous number of small business programs tied directly to New Jersey small businesses. If you go to their website, which is njeda.gov/financing and incentives, there are literally 10, 20, 30, 40 different programs to target businesses. There's money available to help with relocation. There's money available to help with rehabilitation and refurbishing of existing business sites. There's money that's available for helping to build websites and helping to increase the online capacity of that. All three of those, we're hoping with the EDA that later in the year we're going to have a program for local businesses where we'll bring the folks from the EDA in and they'll help explain all of the requirements. And there are significant requirements for reporting and that, but help people apply for these various programs because they really do have a lot of potential to sort of help, particularly really small businesses, which we have a lot of in Highland Park. So we're still focused on redevelopment. We're still focused on bringing, the Tract A, Tract C, and others, and still focused on bringing the South 3rd Street Plaza up on board. And those are the big items. But but these are really, really sort of brass tacks to the specific business owners and specific businesses that we're doing all we can to sort of encourage new and innovative ways of using data analytic tools and using every resource that we have to try and help our local businesses. So take a look at those. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. You can reach out to Terry. You can reach out to Ratuja, our assistant economic development director. She's fantastic. And look for those different opportunities, because I think they can be really, really helpful to our small businesses. And just to piggyback on my colleague, the ADUs and that's okay. The ADUs and parking minimums, that it is fantastic news that Governor Murphy sort of put the pedal on that. It's something that we've been talking a lot about in the planning board, about different ways that might work. Those both might work in Highland Park. Obviously, there's a ways to go, seeing what the state's going to do, but they really are fantastic opportunities to sort of help think about zoning in a different way that will bring about the goal of helping people find places to live, and hopefully they live in Highland Park, shop in Highland Park, and stay in Highland Park. It's the greatest borough ever. That's all I got, man.
Thank you. Councilmember Vargas.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Normaritis Vargas. I am the chair for the Recreation and Arts Committees, and this is my report. The Zone 16 Center held its annual Martin Luther King Lead by Example Award ceremony yesterday at the Highland Park High School. It was organized by Zone 6 Director Ashton Burrell, and this inspiring event honored the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. by recognizing outstanding contributions to community service, mentorship, and charitable efforts. We were welcomed by Mayor Foster's motivational and heartfelt address, a reminder that sometimes words that come from the heart and unscripted are the ones that touch us the most. This year's honorees included Ray Roster of Welfare Pride Rights, Dr. Jeffrey Robinson, Interim Chancellor of Rutgers Newark, Coach Tariq Holman, Isabella Ruberg of Cancer Who, a young leader who initiated and funded a holiday toy drive, and Justin Swanson, co-founder of the Swanson Foundation, which supports youth through recreational sports program, school uniform exchanges, and community initiatives. The ceremony is held annually. It highlights the hard work of volunteers and community leaders. Residents are encouraged to attend future events and show support for these impactful efforts. Additionally, Zone 6 conducts food distribution every Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Volunteers are always welcome to assist with food distribution or mentorship programs. For more information, you can contact Ashton Burrell, the director, at aburrell@hpborough.com. More. The Department of Community Services and Recreation has several upcoming events and updates. On Wednesday, January 22nd, a presentation on safety tips for seniors will be held at 1 p.m. at the community center. The Lunar New Year will also take place on Monday, January 27th at 12 p.m. and it will include a catered luncheon by Sultan Wok with kosher options available upon request, followed by a Dragon and Lion dance on Tuesday, January 28th at 11:30 a.m. featuring authentic music, dancing, and vibrant costumes. The winter recreation program is underway with activities including youth basketball league, chess, and indoor soccer, along with adult fitness and sports programs like volleyball and basketball. The Highland Park Youth Theater Company recently staged Beauty and the Beast Jr., which was well-received performances this past January 9th and 12th. Preparations for the summer program are in progress, with nearly 50% of staff confirmed to return. Registration for all camps will open officially on March 1st, with family information available on highlandparkrec.com. And for more updates for events, programs will be coming in the February report. For more information on any of these programs, please email the Community Service Director, Kim McGraw, at kimberlymcgraw@hpborough.com. The Arts Commission has a number of projects coming up, but first they did publish their 2025 calendar featuring photos and art by local artists and events. I was going to bring one with me, but my neighbor took my last copy. It's a beautiful, beautiful calendar. But if you are interested in purchasing a calendar, please contact John Marin, the Arts Commission chair, at johnjmarin@gmail.com. Additionally, their sidewalk decal initiative is continuing, and I'm sure you've seen some around town. They're quite beautiful. And there will be more installations of these decals throughout Highland Park this coming spring, so stay tuned. Plans are also in the making for a series of lectures and workshops. Stay tuned for that in my next report. Hopefully we'll have more information. And coming up is the Windows of Understanding initiative, which was highlighted yesterday at the MLK Award ceremony. And this is going to feature works of art by local youth under the mentorship of artist Alfred Dudley. This initiative is in partnership with Zone 6 Community Center, New Brunswick Cultural Arts Center, HP Human Relations Commission, the Mason Rose School of Arts, and it is a multi-community and artist project with installations throughout Middlesex County. The opening ceremony will be on February 11th at the Mason Rose Galleries, and closing reception on March 26th at the Highland Park Library. Stay tuned for more details as this project develops. I'll make sure to keep everybody updated. The Historical Commission is going to meet tomorrow. I have not had a chance to meet with them yet, but they're meeting on Thursday, and they will be sharing with me their 2025 calendar of events, and I hope to share that with you at a future meeting. Thank you very much. That's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Pelstonen.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been an extremely brief report for tonight. So I'm starting off tonight. Well, actually, first, let me take a step back for everyone here and everyone listening at home. My name is Jason Postelnick. I am the new chair for the Health and Human Services Committee. I will miss my dear friends and colleagues over in the Arts and Recreation Committee, but they're in amazing hands with Norma. So, and I'm very much looking forward to this new portfolio. So getting back to my report, so the Board of Health reports that levels of the norovirus, aka the stomach bug, COVID-19, and various respiratory illnesses are all at elevated levels. So please take appropriate precautions, wash your hands, and stay up to date on all recommended vaccines. And the only other item that I have to report tonight is I'd just also like to announce that the Commission for Universal Access will be holding its first meeting of the year tomorrow at 5 p.m. That's January 22nd, Wednesday. Okay, tomorrow at 5 p.m. This year, the Commission will be holding hybrid meetings held on Zoom and in person in Borough Hall in the Fishbowl Conference Room on the main floor, right opposite from this room right here. And the Zoom meeting information can be found on the Borough website. And that is all that I have to report on for tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Council President report.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Stephanie Kim Chohan, and I chair finance. My report is quite brief as well, but I did want to touch on some highlights from last year, and the full report will be available on our website. But I did want to convey my sincere appreciation to the numerous dedicated professionals, borough staff members and volunteers who efforts able the such a robust finance portfolio that I'm honored once again to chair. I believe their collective work offers a way for government, decision makers, and engaged citizens to better comprehend and assess the borough's financial situation. The borough last year included 10 grants in the budget for adoption, and more details will be on the full report on the website. And also last year we established a safety net for residents, ensuring that they never miss a payment or deadline by implementing auto pay. When residents access their online bill pay from the borough's website, they are given the option to enroll in auto pay. And we continue to reduce costs through shared services. One of those shared services is on the agenda tonight for readoption. And then did want to just thank our state leaders, our assembly leaders for once again another year of anchor benefits. This was a replacement of the homestead rebate, and once again providing those benefits to our residents. Last year, rent control received one hardship appeal as well. And again, just wanted to touch on one quick announcement and with my announcement. Rent control has been rescheduled. This rent control meeting has been rescheduled to next month. Please keep an eye out on the website for the dates and times. And on the agenda tonight, 12H resolution 12527, tax exemption status. That is for a 100% permanently disabled veteran. Thank you for your service. And I would like to also, in my report, touching back on last year and going into the new year, to also appreciation to every resident that either you emailed me or stopped me and gave insights and your thoughts on ways that I can enhance my portfolio. And then just wanted to wish our community that's celebrating next week a wonderful Lunar New Year and Year of the Snake. I was actually born, this is my year of the snake, but it is told that our health will be very poor this year. So try to take care of yourselves, and that's my report, Mayor.
I'm snake too.
You're gonna
I got you.
Or administrative report.
Thank you, Mayor. The only item I wanted to report on that hasn't been already mentioned is item number 12E on the agenda, which is the resolution supporting the Upper Raritan Avenue Road Diet. If you recall, we discussed that at a work session a little bit ago, and the resolution essentially is supporting the latest and preferred alternative from the NJDOT for the road diet. For those of you that don't know, a road diet essentially is a way of controlling traffic speed by, which typically, and in our case, eliminating vehicle travel lanes, in our case, in favor of bicycle lanes. So Upper Raritan would be going from 2 lanes in either direction, or 4 lanes, to 2 lanes, 1 in each direction, with the additional bike lanes on either side. The latest iteration that that the resolution supports has the addition of a center turn lane that will allow for dedicated left-hand turns off of Raritan and onto the various driveways and side streets that, as you know, is a pretty busy area. The intention is to avoid the potential or the likely potential for drivers who don't want to wait for people making left-hand turns to utilize the bike lanes in either direction. The resolution also emphasizes this council's ongoing commitment and kind of dedication to getting the speed limit reduced along this roadway, and also intention to petition for additional signalized crossings to make it safer for people to cross Raritan Avenue. So I just wanted to make sure that was noted. It's a large agenda, but this is something that we've been pursuing for quite some time. And if the council finds in favor of this resolution, DOT has indicated that they will at least implement a portion of the road diet, the portion that's between the curbs that involves the striping and signage plan this year, which is very much expedited from what was originally going to happen probably in 2027 to 2028. I will mention there will be the full implementation in 2027 and 2028, which will include all of the sidewalk, ADA upgrades, right-of-way issues that involve the hardscaping and the concrete in that area. That takes a lot longer to implement, but they're committed to doing both the expedited work as well as that. So I just wanted to make sure you saw that one in there, item number 12E. And that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Borough Attorney report.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to go a little bit into our rules of procedure.
Sure.
So last year we implemented some new rules on how the meetings are conducted. We have, as you can see in our agenda, we have two opportunities where the public can participate. It's number 10 on your agenda, and it's number 15. So when you get to number 10, any member of the public can come up and either in person or on Zoom can ask a question about any of the resolutions or ordinances. Once all the questions have been answered, the mayor will close the public portion and then will either answer the questions that she has information on, or she'll direct the director who is present today to respond to it, or maybe perhaps it be someone else on the dais, or she'll get back to you. Now, when you go to number 15, the second public participation, that's an opportunity for members that are publicly here and members that are online to ask a question on any topic relevant to the borough. And we will follow the same procedure where everyone puts their questions and or their comments on the record. We close the public portion, and then the mayor decides if someone is going to respond to them, if she responds, or that we follow up at a later date. Thank you. Mayor, would you also like me to discuss ordinance number 25-2099?
Sure. Sure, you can go ahead with that.
There are a few questions regarding this ordinance, and I'll briefly say that it's really just housekeeping. Originally last year in January, there was a capital ordinance that was passed because we had gotten funds from Department of Transportation, New Jersey, in a grant form. Now, the funds are no longer available, so what we needed to do is we needed to correct whatever was voted. As you know, you're the legislative body. So we basically have funds in a bond that was passed in 2022 to complete this transaction. When I say complete, it's my understanding that most of the work is done, but there are some minor things, and then the vendor is going to be paid in full. So homework-wise, we have 11A, which is basically cleaning up and saying, hey, we have this capital ordinance, but because the funds are not available, we want to take it away. And then the corresponding resolution is 12 AM, which is 12558, which is where we had stated to the public and also had voted at this reso after we accepted bids and given it to Fisher, the company from Scotch Plains, to do the work on North 4th Avenue, Denison Street, and Harper Street. And we basically advised everybody that those funds are coming out of the bond. Thank you.
Thank you. And now it's time for my very brief report as well. And I want to start off by congratulations to Chief Norman Shammy, a promotion well deserved. He's been a stalwart supporter of our fire department, and I know he's going to continue to do a stellar job. He keeps us up to date on all the activities that's happening in the fire department and making sure that each and every one of us is safe. So again, a well-deserved promotion. Thank you. And I'm going to go down a list of thank yous. I want to thank the Department of Public Works. As we know, it is brutally cold outside. And on these freezing days and night, they are out there making sure that the roads are safe. They're salting, they're doing their plowing, they're doing everything to make sure that our roads are safe for us to traverse. So a huge thank you to them. And also, I want to thank the crossing guards. On these brutally cold mornings that I would not want to get up to do such a job that they have to get up super early to do. I want to say a special thank you to the crossing guards and to our police officers who are out there on the road, making sure that from the least of us, our little children and everyone else, that we're all being safe. So a thank you is very much deserved. I'm going to continue with thank yous, and I'm going to say thank you to Senator Dykeman and our Assembly member Tara Banchik and Stanley. We received another grant in December for another $250,000, and that's going to go towards an EV vehicle, which we desperately need in our Department of Public Works. So many, many thanks to them for the grants and services that they have provided to us last year, and I'm quite sure they're going to continue to help us in Highland Park as our needs are great and we need a lot of things, and they have been instrumental in helping us get these grants so we can continue to support our town and our residents. Last but not least, I want to thank Ashton and everyone who came out yesterday for the MLK event. I think we all needed that event. I think it was therapeutic, and as we continue to not just honor the legacy of Dr. King, as we continue to live by some of those guidelines that was laid out for us, I think we can become a kinder and gentler nation. And we just need to keep his voice in our heads. And as we traverse through the years or the year, let's take a moment to be kind and to be gentle with each other. Thank you. That's my report. Okay. And now it's time for public participation. 21 minutes total, 3 minutes per speaker. Limited to item on this agenda. Comments from members of the public attending in person will be heard first, followed by those attending on Zoom. And Terry, do we have anyone on Zoom?
No, Mayor.
Okay.
Oh, no hands up at this time.
Okay. Please, if you wish to speak, please step to the microphone, name and address.
Mayor, thank you, members of council. My name is Alan Liebman. I live on North 7th.
Can't hear you.
My name is Alan Liebman. We live on North 7th Avenue. 40 years in Highland Park this year. The first time I've ever had the opportunity or felt the need to address the council. My comment goes as a matter of agenda items to the administrators and Councilmember George's reports on public safety, because the issue for me is traffic enforcement in Highland Park. I'm not talking about Raritan Avenue. In the past few years, we had some tragic events on Raritan, but changes have been instituted, and I hear that more are coming, and that's wonderful. Woodbridge Avenue is still a bit of Wild West. I wish it could get the same attention as Raritan, but that's not where I stand. I'm concerned about all the intersections in Highland Park that are stop sign control. I'm retired as my wife is now. We do a lot of walking into town. I walk into Brunswick, take classes at Rutgers, walk the dog all over. So in our particular neck of the woods, on the north side, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th Avenues, and Abbott is the principal cross street. And there's a stop sign there. It is routinely ignored by drivers. And I've seen this all around town. Drivers treat stop signs as yields. At least some slow down. For their own safety, they're doing it so they're sideswipe. They're not really concerned about pedestrians. We've heard about walkable Highland Park from Councilmember Hirsch. Councilmember George talked about safe cycling, safe pedestrian programs. We can have none of those if we don't have traffic enforcement. If drivers don't slow down, stop at stop signs, it's a dangerous place. We don't need to wait for someone to be hit or worse on one of these side streets and side intersections. So I understand the police force is limited in its resources. We can't have a police car at every one of those intersections. It's not realistic. But I've never seen a traffic stop on 8th. Cars routinely speed down 8th from Highland Park toward Edison. Cars routinely ignore the stop sign at Abbott and 8th. I've almost been hit several times myself. The crosswalk is treated as a suggestion. Cars rarely stop before the crosswalk. We have kids going to the high school and the middle school. We have cyclists, we have scooters, we have people pushing carriages. On Friday nights and Saturdays, we have pedestrians on the street. It's a target-rich environment for a careless driver. And I just wish the council would do something with the police department.
30 seconds.
To address that. I emailed with Councilmember George about this in early December and received a very rapid reply to the effect that this matter would be referred to the police department for consideration. I haven't heard anything. It's not a criticism, it's just holidays and it's the new year. But I really wish someone would look at that and see if there's an ability within our limited resources to cause drivers to obey the traffic laws in town. Thanks very much for your time.
No, Mayor. We have 5 attendees on Zoom. No hands up.
Okay, no one else? Seeing there's no one else, may I have a motion to close public participation?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember George.
Yes.
Councilmember Hale.
Yes.
Councilmember Hirsch.
Yes.
Council President Kim Cho-Han.
Yes.
Councilmember Pistonik.
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Councilmember George, can you please do a follow-up, you and the chief, with Alan's request to take a deeper dive?
I will run it, but as Alan said, I did give them a response. We put it on the calendar for public safety. We just had the meeting Tuesday for the start of the year. And we will be looking at some ways to do it. Again, as you know, one of our biggest problems is the size of the department. The size of the department on the street at any moment is not the size of the department. There are shifts and tours, and also when you think that there may be 15 officers available to do traffic. May not necessarily be so, but we did look at it at the public safety. We do have ongoing studies for it to try and figure out some responses. I know the problem. I live at the town safer cut through, which is the Johnson Street, to avoid Route 27, and we've watched cars not only go through the stop signs but run into the stop signs. So we're well aware of it, and the Public Safety Committee is working on it. We did start with our meeting last Tuesday.
Borough Administrator.
Just to build off what Councilmember George just mentioned, I thought since you're Mr. Liebman, since you're in the neighborhood, you should be aware that in our Safe Routes to School program, North 8th gets a lot of attention. And in our bike ped plan, and we also have hopefully a grant coming through to do a bike lane, which yes, that it's good for cyclists, but it has the additional impact of slowing traffic because you're constricting the roadway down. And also in the Safe Route to School program, the crossing at Abbott and the pedestrian crossing of 8th and at Abbott is also being looked at very carefully. Again, we acknowledge the speeding does exist. They're having traffic studies there. And so we do have some programs that we hope to put in place. But I have to defer to the police department on the enforcement matter. But we are going to be implementing some improvements in that area in the next 1 to 2 years. It takes some time to get to recognizing some of those concerns in that specific area.
Thank you. Clerk, please report on introduction of ordinance number 25-2099.
An ordinance repealing capital ordinance number 24-2081 adopted by the Borough Council on February 6, 2024, entitled Capital Ordinance Providing for Improvements to North 4th Avenue, Denison Street, and Harper Street Project in the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $609,980 from the Department of Transportation Municipal Aid Program, therefore, to pay the cost thereof, has been introduced by the Finance Committee for consideration of passage on final first reading by title.
May I have a motion to adopt or reject ordinance number 25-2099? Okay.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember George?
Yes.
Councilmember Hale?
Yes.
Councilmember Hirsch?
Yes.
Council President Kim Cho-Han?
Yes.
Councilmember Pistonik?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Clerk, please report on introduction of ordinance number 25-2100.
An ordinance amending and supplementing Article 1, pet waste, wildlife feeding and litter, waste collection and disposal, illicit connections to create Chapter 356-8.1, which will regulate sump pumps and pipe drain discharge control within the Borough of Highland Park, has been introduced by the Public Works and Public Utilities Committee for consideration of passage on first reading by title.
May I have a motion to adopt or reject ordinance number 25-2100?
Motion to adopt. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember George?
This is an important ordinance for a number of purposes, especially its main target is to try and prevent those street stops that occur on the street, but it's also essential to issues with our stormwater management as well as our environment. I vote yes.
Councilmember Hale?
Yes.
Councilmember Hirsch?
Yes.
Council President Kim Cho-Han?
Yes.
Councilmember Pistonik?
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas?
Yes.
Now we move to our consent agenda and resolutions. May I ask if any member of the council would like any of the following items to be pulled for separate vote?
No, Mayor.
Okay. May I have a motion to adopt or reject the following consent agenda items, 12A through 12AN?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember George,
Yes.
Councilmember Hale,
Yes.
Councilmember Hirsch,
Yes.
Council President Kim Cho Han,
Yes.
Councilmember Pistonik,
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Resolution requiring a separate reading. May I have a motion to adopt or reject resolution 1-25-60?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Councilmember George,
Yes.
Councilmember Hale,
Yes.
Councilmember Hirsch,
Yes.
Council President Kim Cho Han,
Yes.
Councilmember Pistonik,
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
And now we move to appointments. Mental Health Commission, Marion Costanza, Esquire. Municipal Alliance, Elizabeth Asamosa, Board of Ed Representative. Universal Access, Dan Beatty, Board of Ed Representative. May I have a motion to confirm?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember George,
Yes.
Councilmember Hale,
Yes.
Councilmember Hirsch,
Yes.
Council President Kim Cho Han,
Yes.
Councilmember Pistonik,
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
Board of Health, Board of Health, Jen Voorhees, or Board of Education Representative, Human Relations Commission, Nikki Stano, Board of Health, Board of Education Representative, no confirmation needed on both. Now it's time for the second participation. 3 minutes on any topic, subject to conclude by 9 p.m. Comments from members of the public attending in person will be heard first, followed by those attending on Zoom.
More of a plaudit than a comment. I see Alan Liebman, I'm still living on North 2nd Avenue. I'm sure I've said this on the I'm from Highland Park website, but since I'm here, I wanted to pay this compliment in person. Thank you to the mayor and to the board for getting us the new supermarket in town, super fresh. It's a wonderful addition to the town. It immeasurably adds to the quality of life in Highland Park. And I know it was quite some effort to get that operator to come in, but it's great, and everyone loves it. Almost everyone loves it. Can't make everyone happy. But thank you very much for everyone who participated.
Thank you.
My name is Eric Liebman. I and my family live on Harrison Avenue. And I just wanted to ask where we are in terms of assessing the condition and the need for upgrading and replacing the town's water distribution system. I think it's come up at least once in the prior meeting. You know, obviously, it's getting older, and you know, it's going to cost quite a bit of money to fix. So I was just wondering where we were on assessing the situation and the need and how much it's going to cost, and you know, long-term vision, schedule, that kind of thing. So,
thank you. Anyone on Zoom, Terry?
I do see a hand up.
Karen Omolik, if you could state your name to confirm it's you. Make your comment.
Karen Analik, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
At the last town meeting, I spoke about the flashing stop signs that are on the intersection of Cleveland Avenue and Madison Avenue. And that they're on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they are shining directly into people's windows. And I had made a pitch to have them on a timer, like most lights around schools usually go off after school hours. Okay. And I think Terry was going to speak to the chief of police, and I'm just following up and seeing if anything has happened since the last meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else, Terry?
No, Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much. Seeing that there's no one else has any questions, may I have a motion to close public session, public participation?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember George,
Yes.
Councilmember Hale,
Yes.
Councilmember Hirsch,
Yes.
Council President Kim Cho Han.
Yes.
Councilmember Pistonik,
Yes.
Councilmember Vargas.
Yes.
There were two questions that came up. The water distribution system, as we all know that we have aging pipes and we're doing our best. We're going to be taking a look at our water. We've had some discussions about water, and we're going to be doing a deeper dive into water distribution. That's something that we're going to have to look at some point. So we have been talking about it, but not in great details, but we're going to be discussing it in great details this year. So we will follow up with you about the water distribution system and how we move forward. Terry, would you like anything to add to that?
Mayor, the only thing I would add to that is we do have a asset management plan. There are a lot of the state of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection regulates utilities pretty carefully, and we have developed an asset management plan. We are obligated to replace. There's a life cycle to water mains, and they're looking to see utilities replace sections at a time so they don't find themselves at the end of a 150-year lifespan where they have all their mains to replace. So we are in the process of prioritizing the list. We also try to work that list where we have known road projects coming up. The best example, which is not implemented yet, frustratingly, is Woodbridge Avenue, where we were working with the county on Woodbridge Avenue's road project. And we realized we had a very large section of old water main there. So we did work with the county to integrate the replacement of that main into that project. We've just not gotten the project out to bid. We're partnering with the county, and there's a lot of side reasons for that. So it is very important. We do work with our operator, Middlesex Water Company, USA, Highland Park specifically, to develop a plan, and we will be coming to the council with a capital plan related to water infrastructure generally and specifically water mains.
Thank you. In regards to the flashing stop sign, that was 2 weeks ago, and it does take some time. We are actively working on having a discussion with the school to see what can be done with the police department, with our chief, and with Terry and the school. And as soon as we get to a place where this can be discussed, we will be following. Hopefully, we'll be able to put it on a timer and address the issue where that is concerned. There's a question from Councilmember Hirsch.
Thank you, Mayor. No, I did have a quick question to the mayor, something that Minister Hobert said. So I'm not familiar with the timeline of since Public Works falls under my portfolio. I'm not familiar with the timeline for capital improvement plans, but I would imagine that that's going to go through the Public Works Public Utilities Committee before it's presented to the council.
Yes.
And don't forget that next month will be our goals and priority meeting, and all of this and your plans for this year and the next 5 years I'll be asking you to put those plans together so we can see what's in cap, what's not in cap, what we need to improve this year, the goals that you have to get done this year and for the next 5 years. So all of that will be addressed when we meet.
Yeah, let's say something too about, I know it's been talked about the water. So that's kind of like, I as long as I've been on, I feel like at the end of this term, it will be 10 years. Actually, I feel like I'm being a senior, but as long as I've been on council, I think this was discussed prior, and it's a lot of education for someone that's not in that field, and it's a big decision. And even at that time, I remember I still was like, so indecisive, and I know we're back here again, and there's been talks about, towns are starting to sell their system. This is a big decision, and I just feel like we need a lot of time to discuss this you know, whole water system project too, so.
It's gonna be properly vetted.
You know, we will have time to assess and properly review. We've gathered information over the years, and it's not something that can be made lightly. There's a lot involved, and we are going to be doing our due diligence to make sure we make the appropriate decision for our town as it pertains to our water system. Because as you've heard across the state, across the nation, our entire water system is aged out, and we have to look at different ways of how we provide water. So we're going to be doing our due diligence here as well to make sure water is safe and look at the cost factor as it impacts each and every one of us who are in this town and who are part of the tax-paying body. We're going to be looking at this quite closely. Please give us some time. We will get back to everyone as we go through the various steps as we look at water, at our water infrastructure. Okay. I just looked public participation, yes. May I have a motion to close? May I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, our next meeting is scheduled for February 4th at 7 p.m. Everyone, please be safe out there. Thank you. Have a good night.